Okay guys, this man actually deserves jail time. And let me start by saying my dating story with this guy is the least crazy of the stories that have come out about him. So I go to Austin, Texas a lot just because I love it. I set my Bumble location to Austin. I matched with this cutie patootie. Just a good old Texas looking man. Mullet, mustache. Don't remember what my first message was to him, but he didn't respond. On Bumble, the girls have to message first and you have 24 hours for them to respond or your match expires. So we had like 2 hours left until our match expired and he still hadn't responded to my message. Once again, I don't remember what I said, but I sent him my number. And to my surprise, he texted me. And I told him I was gonna be in Austin that weekend and that I had dinner reservations for Daynata and I would love for him to join us. He immediately was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so there. I love Daynata. So the weekend comes around and I don't hear from him the entire weekend. So I cut my losses. The interesting thing is on his Bumble, he had his first and last name. So I looked him up on Instagram and immediately found him. Then I find his TikTok. I wouldn't classify him as an influencer, but he definitely has quite a big following. I was like, okay, slay. And based off of his Instagram, guys, like, he just seemed like such a great guy. I was like, wow, he's got a great family. He's got so many friends. But as I'm stalking his Instagram, I notice a girl. And their pictures were honestly giving like soft launch vibes. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're just friends. I'm just like, okay, surely this guy would not be on Bumble if he had a girlfriend. In my pimped out Chevrolet. I visit Austin a few more times and I keep texting this man, okay? I'm like, I'm going to meet him one way or another. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably like 4 texts deep of him not responding. Like just me back to back to back. I was taking a solo trip to Austin. I texted him when I landed at the airport and I said, honey, I'm home. Isn't that cute? And he said, my blue-eyed baby is in ATX. This is literally after months of not hearing from this man. Like I said, there are like 4 texts above this that he has not responded to. He tells me his work schedule is a little crazy, but he would love to get breakfast on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning. So he picks me up. He's so sweet. He opens the door for me and we go to a bagel shop. He pays for the bagels and the conversation is absolutely awful. This man did not ask me one single question. When I tell you, he did not reciprocate the conversation at all. And this was my first time experiencing this. I have since realized this is an epidemic. But the entire time it was like pulling teeth trying to make conversation with this guy. Finally, the date just kind of ended and he was like, okay, I can take you back to your hotel. I was leaving that day to go home and he was like, do you want me to come up and help you pack? I was like, yeah, sure. So he comes up to my hotel room. I was already fully packed, by the way. Very shortly after that, we start making out. He literally fell asleep. He had worked nights the night before. And after we kissed for a second, I was just kind of like playing with his hair and he literally fell asleep. And I woke him up and I was like, hey, like, you need to go home and go to bed. He was like, is there anywhere that you want me to drop you off? And I was like, yeah, actually there's a coffee shop that I kind of want to hang out at before I leave. So he drops me off at this coffee shop and he's like, text me, like, let me know if you need a ride to the airport, gives me a kiss on the forehead, like, just so nice. And then that was the end of that. I never heard from him again. This is where the story gets good. I saw him posted on Are We Dating the Same Guy, Austin. And it was this giant paragraph about how this guy is a serial ghoster. This girl was exclusive with him and he literally ghosted her, was talking to multiple other girls at the same time and she had no idea. And guess who it was? The girl that I saw on his Instagram. I commented and I was like, oh my gosh, girl. She posted the timeline they were together and I said, we literally went on a date. That man was fully on Bumble, fully picked me up, dropped me off, came up to my hotel room. The comments under this post were, I'm not gonna lie, probably at this point, hundreds of girls with the exact same story. And it starts blowing up and gets back to him because there's snitches in that group. He ends up changing his Instagram and TikTok bio to a ghost emoji. Professional ghoster or something like that. So icky, first of all, but also like not a flex, bro. He blocks all of us on Instagram and TikTok. I wasn't even following him on any of his socials. He has since unblocked me on TikTok. That probably won't last long. The part that I love about this is a lot of us girls have become like pretty good friends after this whole entire debacle. I met up with a couple of girls one time when I was in Austin, and I love talking to them. I have seen them multiple times since, and I see a bunch of other stories of girls saying that they have bonded over this guy as well. There's been an entire TikTok hate page created about him. Like, he is off the charts. And at this point, it's honestly just kind of sad. Like, I don't know what's wrong in his brain that he thinks that it's just like quirky and silly and there's nothing wrong with his behavior. Do you not realize like how awful you are treating these women? And karma's a bitch. And I'm gonna leave it at that.